Hello and welcome to once again to See You Next Time, the podcast that YouTube uses as an instructional video of what not to do when you are thinking of starting your own YouTube channel. Joining me today is waiting to make his big entrance. Obviously, he's going to flounce in any second now. Is Seamus O'Deeps, as we discuss one of Man United's rivals in the relegation battle, Burnley. So, I was going to ask how are you, Seamus, but you seem to be missing. I'm talking to myself like a lunatic. Oh well, should be used to that, really, shouldn't I? I know what it is. He's obviously going to be a while. He's got to choose which of his endorsement deals he's wearing today. Which, speaking of which, my bloody missus, she's only just started doing videos on YouTube channels and that, and on TikTok and stuff, like a few days ago, maybe a week or two ago, and she's already got a freaking deal. They sent her free clobber to wear to show off when she's doing the videos, and any that's selling the links she gets a cut off. Can you
Hello,
believe it?
everyone.
We haven't even we've been going years and we've never got, well, I've never gone into, I know you have, but you've got the Ralph Lauren deal, obviously we've seen. And what is it today? Who's the who we selling today?
I don't think even I can read what this is.
Do you get you like my missus?
Alas,
Do they send you free stuff and then you have to wear it to sell? And if you sell any, you get the money from the links, or do you just get money for wearing it?
no. Do you think if I got any kind of sponsorship, would I be
You
keeping
wouldn't be
quiet
on this
about it?
pod at all, would you? Let's be honest. If you weren't a living, we wouldn't see you for dust. Yeah. So anyway, how are you, mate?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm doing fairly fine. A little bit hot here, but
Oh
it's
wait,
getting. I'm getting
don't
used to
start going on that you just because you've done a bit of modelling,
it.
you're hot. Listen to him. Oh, tell you
Oh,
what, he's
look at
gonna
the
disappear
sweat.
up his own backside, isn't he, eh?
Oh, the sweat. The trouble I put myself into just for a couple of viewers. Oh.
Hey, we don't put our viewership since we went to video from 1 to 2. So we do, it's good, mate. Good. So the
Maybe,
one thing I did notice, despite the viewings going up, the number of subscribers is now going down, which is quite worrying.
no, but maybe after today, like we can get a real jump in the viewership because if nothing else, then maybe one of his many birds is just gonna tune in and have a listen at Kyle Walker.
Oh yes, one of his many wives. Yeah, all his women. Even if we just get a few of them listening, even just 1/10 of his women listen, that'll be a few hundred extra viewers and treble our massively multiply our viewership. It's quite odd though. Our viewership was going up while we weren't doing them. Our subscriber base was increasing while we weren't doing them. Now we are doing them. It's gone down by 2. That's quite worrying. I really think we need to discuss
Maybe
that later.
they're
That's a worry. Oh,
maybe they're just scared by my beauty.
I think that's probably not the problem. So anyway, should we talk? We'll quickly run through the Burnley signings. At the moment, they've got Patrick Bamford, who's taken a medical from Leeds United. I can't believe he can pass a medical. I know he's bulked up, but my God, he must be the most injury-prone player in like the last 20 years. I can't remember him even playing. You know what I mean? I can't remember the last time he played. So yeah, that's
That's
him.
the thing. Like you don't have to discuss if he's gonna be a good signing or not,
Yeah,
because
that's
in
just
all likelihood he's just gonna be injured. So.
ridiculous signing though for a team that needs players. They need actual players. I mean, they've signed so many though. I mean, obviously Kyle Walker from Man City, Loom Chuana from Lazio, Bashir Humphreys
For
from.
a decent fee as well.
Hmm?
It is for a decent. Yeah, it is for a decent fee as well.
Which one?
The Luang Chuana.
Yeah, he was their biggest, most expensive signing. Something like nearly 20 million. Bashir Humphreys from Chelsea. Marcus Edwards from Sporting. They've had him on loan though for the last 6 months, so it's only making him permanent. Jaden Anthony from Bournemouth. Willinshi Hartman from Feyenoord. Christ, have they deliberately signed the most difficult names to say or something? I mean, Zian Fleming from Millwall. Jakob Bronlarsen from Stuttgart, Max Weiss from Karlsruhe, and Axel Tuanzebe from Ipswich Town. So they've signed quite a few players, so they're certainly trying to stay up, but I just don't see that what they've signed is good enough to keep them up.
And also, like Hartman, he was once a decent prospect, but most importantly, he was someone he's someone who comes with injury history, like poor fitness record.
Maybe that's
And
the
then
area.
Jakob Brun Larsen is someone I'm pretty sure he was at Burnley or one of the promoted sides a couple of seasons ago as well, and then didn't do too well, but also chose not to stick around in the Champions League championship.
I think you know that rings a bell. Was it Burnley?
I think it was Burnley, but even if no, I think it was Burnley when Company was there in the Premier
Mm.
League. I think he was probably on a loan to buy deal. They stayed up, and then they didn't stay up. And I think, and also Axel Tuanzebe again comes with a sign that says handle with care. Fragile, fragile, handle with care. Like that seems to be a running thing here with the new signings.
Well, I mean, that Kwanzaa's taking Man United to court, obviously, about his injuries while there, because he's a youth
Yeah,
team. Came through the
mishandling.
youth at Man United. In case you don't know, I did do a profile of him actually, just yesterday, even maybe a couple of days ago, maybe I don't know. But anyway, yeah, and it's like one of the things that stood out is he'd had a really bad time with injuries, and that's completely just, he just isn't the same player as he was when he was a youngster. When he was breaking through, he looked like he was going to be something special, like he'd be the future of the United team, either defensive midfield, right back. But you just thought he's going to be he's going to be good. And then, like, after the injuries, he's just not the same player.
And also, like with Tuanzebe, like I'm pretty sure even you're fit, but even if you're not, then he is at least among us United supporters is a favorite because he once pocketed Mbappe and
Yeah,
Neymar by himself.
yeah.
Yeah,
At
by himself.
PSG, yeah,
But
that's right.
against
Yeah, I mean,
PSG.
he looked like he was a future superstar, didn't he, back then?
And even if you don't turn into a superstar, if you're a good player in the squad, it's already a win situation for the
Mm.
club. But sadly, injuries derailed his career, and it seems at least some of it could have been prevented.
That's what.
This young keeper Max Weiss signed by Burnley. I don't know how much you've seen. I've not seen a lot of him, but it seems he is being signed as a replacement for your favorite English goalkeeper.
Yeah, Trafford. Though he's not gone yet, though, has he?
No, he
But
was, and no, it looked pretty certain he was gonna join Newcastle. Apparently, they had almost completed the transfer last
then City
summer
stepped
as
in.
well, and then yeah, now City. Like
I don't
when
get it.
it's you don't get it, I don't get it, but at first the simple explanation is City had a buyback clause, so when the transfer was about to happen, the selling club is obliged to at least
Hmm.
offer the chance to the club that hosts the clause. The same thing happened with Benfica and Man United regarding Alvaro Fernandez as well.
Yeah, but I
And
could have
then
understood if
City
United had
retaliated.
taken up their option for him because he was a good player. What I don't understand is why City are taking up their option for Trafford when he's not a very good goalkeeper at all. And I know people are going to say, but they had a great defensive record. Yeah, because they sat with 10 men in front of the ball for 90 minutes. They didn't do any attacking. They just kept their men behind the ball and just sat in safe and tried to protect him because he's just a woeful keeper. And it's not just he's not very good at shot stopping. He's not very good at he's not very good at dealing with crosses. He's not very good at anything that played into the box. He's terrible at. But on the ball, he's hopeless. He's one of the worst I've ever seen. He's okay if it's just a short pass and there's no pressure on him. But the minute he gets under pressure, he just panics and hoofs it into touch every single time. It's not even like once or twice. It's every time he did it. And I've watched him loads because obviously I was watching him for doing a podcast, a profile.
Player profile.
Yeah, I was watching him for doing, so I watched a lot of him, and it was every time. It wasn't a once or twice. He is an absolute dogma keeper who's just getting away with a career because he's behind a solid defence, so he's not having to actually do anything. But he's like, I mean, his positional sense, it just isn't in the right place. And so he makes these saves that people go on about how great they are. When if he'd just been in the right place, he'd been catching the ball instead of having to full length tip it round the post. And he's a big guy as well. So when he's having to go full length, you've got to worry that he's out of position because he should never have to at 6'5". Sorry, I'm going on a rant about him, but yeah.
Uh, just getting back to the like, you don't have to be the best keeper to have the best defensive record.
Hmm.
I will just point to the fact that at one point last season, deep into the last season, Andre Onana was in the running for the Golden Gloves.
Exactly. Exactly. And we all know he is one of the worst keepers in the Premier League, if not the worst. Maybe now Trafford's in there, there's competition. But but like yeah,
Who's the keeper at Leeds?
hmm?
Just on a side note, who's the keeper at Leeds? Who's the keeper at Sunderland?
Leeds have
And
just
just
signed a keeper. Just signed a
uh,
keeper today. Oh, what's his name? Oh
Gary
my
was
God. I've
others.
been reading his name all bloody day long on the Leeds site. All day. They've been, every post mentions his name. And I can't remember his name. The only one I can think of is that the midfielder they've signed at 6'4". Stat.
Ah,
But I can't think
Lucas
who's the
Perry.
goalkeeper. Perry.
Yeah, Lucas Perry.
Yes, it, Lucas Perry. Just gosh, that was really annoying because I've literally probably read 80 posts. Not all of them got posted, obviously, but I probably read about 80 posts about Lucas Perry, and every single one of them mentioned his name, Perry. Because it took me a while because I was, because read so many names on the sites now, it takes a while before you figure out who's that, before it gets in your head. But yeah, sorry, off track then, which isn't like me.
Anyways, getting back to Burnley. No, I derailed it. So let's just get back to Burnley and especially the main player in focus, Kyle Walker.
Hmm.
What happened, man? Like a year ago, he was in line to be the next captain for Man City.
Oh, well, actually, you got to remember there was a big falling out with Pep Guardiola last summer. He was going on strike, and Kyle Walker was because he'd already been dropped. Remember, he'd lost his place, and he went on strike before the season started and stuff. Don't you remember? And then they ended up they resolved the issue. He started the season playing, was still shite, which is, let's face it, is what he's always been, but he's just been able to get away with it because he's so fast. I mean, that was all he had, was he was so fast. Great technical player, to be fair. With his first touch and his technique, he can hit a ball lovely. But he's just such a moron. He doesn't know how to use it. Anyway, yeah, he was on. He was basically on strike, refusing to. Was trying to force his way out. Then they resolved it. He started the season. I think it was the Charity Shield. He played in the Community Shield. Sorry, proper name. Yeah, played the Community Shield, and then basically he lost his place to the kids again because he was so bad, and ended up going out on loan in January. But he had a big falling out with Pep during, and over the last summer he was trying to force his way out, and then till it got resolved. Though I don't know why Pep bothered to resolve it, because I would have thought it'd be just get rid of him. He was on an exorbitant wage. Oh, you'd think
And he's already getting on his age, especially if you're a player who relies on patient power, then you suffer more quickly
yeah.
with Mother Nature and Father Time. So it's I I think it's probably a little bit late for City to be uh, saying goodbye, thank you, see you down the line, or probably never. But yeah, the most surprising thing for me is like he has gone from within a space of year, he has gone from champions, no, not a champions. He has gone from a team that won the champions, not championship, that won the Premier League to a team that couldn't even win the championship.
Mm. I'm not. But what amazes me more is that they actually paid money for him.
Isn't it a very small fee with a lot of contingencies?
It's
Uh,
5.8 million or something like that. I can't remember whether that's euros. So it might be £5 million with a lot of contingencies, which could more than double it. But
yeah,
like,
but I don't think staying up in the Premier
he's
League
not
is
going to make
that
any
like.
of them, is he? So, you're looking at Burnley. Do you see any hope for them staying up, or do you think they'll be down there with the United, battling just to avoid, and just is it just a battle to avoid finishing bottom?
Like you know full well that I from the moment championship season was over, the two teams that were coming up were decided. The third team that was coming up got finalized after the playoff. I've been saying to all of you guys, it's again looking like the teams that are coming up are like clear favorites to go down
Hmm.
because they don't have the player quality. They don't have the player anonymity as well. Like at least if there are a lot of players that we don't know about, then maybe a couple could be just Premier League quality players who were late to the party or maybe excellent youngsters or whatever. And then thirdly, like the coaches coming up and the team structures around them, it's not built for Premier League survival battle. And
I
with
got.
Burnley, we know Scott Parker is a
Mm.
decent manager. Probably not just decent. He's probably one of the best managers at getting promoted with a good team. But he's also never been able to keep a team up
He
over the
seems out
course
of his
of the
depth, doesn't he, in the Premier League?
year. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he just looks. It just looks like he's a deer in headlights when it comes to Premier League football as a
And they
manager.
and they don't seem to have the players to. And I don't really. And the way they're buying, there's a lot of either injury-prone players in the hope that they'll suddenly miraculously recover, or old men like Walker and Bamford, who's also injury-prone, and that. You know what I mean? They're better, but you don't. There's nobody in there that like makes you think. Nah, there's just nothing there that you think that gives them a chance, is there?
Yeah, like Jaden Anthony, someone who spent last season on championship because he was deemed not good enough for Premier League side in Bournemouth, who face it were championship side just a couple of years ago. So
Mm.
it's
I've got to say,
quite a
I think
worrying sign for Burnley supporter.
because I do think out of the three, they're the least prepared. Leeds and Sunderland at least have had a go. You know what I mean? They've tried to buy better players and improve themselves to have a go at staying up. And I find it strange that Burnley haven't invested more wisely on less players. Just bought cherry picked just a few to improve their squad. Because this season is probably the best chance any team will have to stay up from promoted teams, for a while. Because it probably won't happen again, where like the likes of Brentford and Bournemouth have had half their teams taken off them. So they've got the chance to, catch them while they're trying to rebuild their sides. Like,
At least like if you get up to speed quickly, get a couple of scores points, then you can build pressure upon the teams like what
exactly.
was Brentford. We are not saying they're terrible teams. We're just saying they're in such. There's just been so much turnover at those clubs that it wouldn't be a surprise if it took them a month or two to properly get going and build up a new what would probably be a completely new team. I'm not saying 11 new players. Just there's a lot of different
Mm.
familiarities to be built, different connections, different patterns to be built. So if anything, it was this summer has given the promoter sides a slight chance of getting at least some kind of advantage. And then if you could, in theory, build up some pressure upon those teams, then it could have happened. But if we're just going to list, then manager is the worry for me. Daniel Farker has shown that he's happy.
Yeah,
He's happy to just be in one of the top 26 teams instead of top 17 teams in English
yeah,
football
that's very
system.
strange. That's
It's
that's
it's
what I
a
worry
different.
about with Leeds. Is they've probably got the best team of all of them and the best setup to stay up. I mean, they've got players like Tanaka who look like they were a class above the Championship last season and should have
Yeah,
been playing
I
in the
was just
Premier
gonna say
League.
that like Leeds, at least with Leeds, there are a couple of players who
Hmm.
have shown the ability to hang in with the upper teams, but sadly, it just seems the managerial selection might not be the most
Yeah,
amazing for them.
that is their issue. That's what worries me. Is I don't know if he's got the ambition to go for it. He seems like he's just happy to be in the Premier League rather than thinking we can do this. We've got a chance here. It just doesn't feel like he does it?
Yeah, like there has to be. Maybe it's unfounded and simply stupid, but you have to at least believe yourself to make others also believe that it can be done.
Exactly. Yeah, that's one of the biggest thing is you need to you need to give them confidence. I mean, it's the mental side of the game is a huge part of it. Even though it might only provide a small percentage of the actual your final ability, but it's that little bit that takes you over the top and makes the difference. It is the mentality that makes the best players rather than the ability as such, if you know what I mean. I mean, obviously they've got the ability, but it's to make them into top players, they have to have the drive and the desire and belief in themselves. And Sunderland, the other one, their manager's a bit of an unknown quantity, I've got to say.
Sorry.
Lafay.
I nearly got him. No, I nearly got him confused with the new QPR manager.
Who you think
Sorry.
Cifuentes? No.
I was
No, he
thinking
was the
Julian
old
Stefan.
QPR manager, wasn't he?
Yeah, Julian Stefan. I think that's his name.
That's it. Yes, what do you
But
think of
that's QPR manager. I'm
yeah,
sorry,
QPR?
it's the
Yeah,
wrong
so what
club.
do you think of the new,
Yeah,
the
that's wrong.
Sun? Well, he's not that new, is he? Because he was there last season, like, but you know what I mean? The Sunderland manager. No, Lafay's the player they signed, isn't it?
Sunderland, Sunderland have a lot of young players. That's probably gonna be the issue. They don't
Sometimes
have
that can
players
be a
who
good
are
thing for a promoted team, I mean, because young players
no.
have less, less to lose and more to gain by just going out there and playing. It doesn't matter if they have a disaster; they've got time to recover. So that
Yeah,
can,
but youth also gives you naivety, and naivety is what has ultimately been the downfall of the promoted sides for the past couple of seasons.
mm, it's a tough one, and I mean they've lost Bellingham, which is a big
A huge
thing
now.
because even though he was the lesser Bellingham, he was still probably their best player. So,
And even no, it's not just about the player quality only. If you're a promoted side, if you have one or two players that draws a lot of attention, drives pressure away from other players.
Mm.
It's also something very nice. Like if let's say if you have a Joe Bellingham as Sunderland for in hypothetical scenario, let's say they had managed to keep hold of him, then he would have garnered a lot of media attention and pressure away from other players.
Mm.
So they could get more leeway in trying to find their foot in the league. But now more light would be shined upon everyone else, and it's always ultimately for 99% of the players, it's always better to have less media attention when you are trying to learn about yourself.
Yeah, when you're trying to you want no pressure while you're just getting in there and playing. Just what but hopefully, but that's the manager can still take the pressure off them. He can still draw off, like that's his job after all. The head coach, so I should say. I don't think he's their manager. But yeah, I just think that like you look at those two, at least they've given themselves hope because they've tried. Whereas Burnley, it just feels like they've just said, we'll just go and buy a few older men. None of them are actually any good anymore. But we'll get the experience in because, and we'll get a few injury prone players who might just happen to have a miraculous recovery. But I mean, it's just hitting hope rather than there's no sensible recruitment going on like Brighton did and Brentford did to get up and stay up eventually. I mean, it took a while for Brighton, obviously, but they were sensible
Even
about their
Burnley,
recruitment. They just improved, not just gone and just said, "Well, we'll just, he'll do," sort of thing. That's how it feels like Burnley have done. I do wonder how much of the problem is, though. It's Burnley. Let's be honest. And it can't be easy to attract players to Burnley. I mean, have you ever been there? It's not the place where you'd show your foreigners round and say, "Oh, you want to live here? Look at it, it's beautiful." You'd take them out. You would take them somewhere else to show them round the area. You know what I mean? To attract the potential signings. I mean, even their training pitch. Nothing about the club is particularly Premier League.
but just as you got there, like whatever happened to the older culture of lesser teams, lower teams, promoted teams, learning in some youngsters from the top tier Premier League sides? Like what happened to that? Nowadays, it's mostly like signing unknown academy players or for
Mm.
big fees or signing the likes of um, Kyle Walker, for example, like someone who has been discarded by the club from the upper tier. Like whatever happened to the likes of Johnny Evans to Sunderland or um, throw me someone that
One
I can
debate
easily
when he
think
went
of.
to Villa, wasn't he? Wasn't Villa just got promoted
Yeah,
when he went
yeah,
there?
yeah,
Like,
exactly. Like maybe to Villa
Tuanzebe,
or
sorry, not Tuanzebe, isn't it?
Welbeck.
Tuanzebe.
Yeah, Welbeck to Sunderland as well. Like
He used to happen
whatever
all the
happened to
time.
those
You're
kind of
right. The promoted teams always used to. The first thing they did was try and cherry pick the best youngsters they could borrow, rather than say, keep the. I mean, it's like the money's just blinded them to thoughts of being sensible, and now they just throw money at everything, and that's their answer, rather than using their brains and planning it out and thinking, right, if we can 10 minutes, we go for it, yeah, but we do it by being sensible. We bring in we got to have two loans, take them both. And that saves us, we're not spending out the money. And at the end of the season, they go back. So if we fail to stay up, not a problem. We go down and we've not got to worry about their wages or trying to sell them, whatever. So it keeps us within our, we're not in trouble when we go back down to the Championship, and we've still got the money we've gained from being in the Premier League, the parachute payments and that, to invest in the team to improve it when we go back into the Championship. It makes more sense than it makes a lot of sense to take players from the Premier League. There's got to be, I mean,
like
there's some good players out there as well.
like if you're a promoted side, I'm just like when I just look at you like I said Liverpool, like this Ben Doak, like someone
Yeah,
who I know he's
exactly.
not a Premier League player. Like he played Championship, he did well.
Hmm.
He's probably Liverpool and himself are looking for ideally a club that
Exactly.
can give him a higher competition than the last season, which
Mm.
is obviously Premier League's higher competition. They can ask for more minutes uh, from Sunderland than Ben Stokes Camp could from Liverpool. Then like it's just maybe even throw in an obligation or an option to buy should you stay up. Like there
Yeah,
could be ways to do the transfer, or
exactly.
like if it was yeah, or maybe Liverpool and Brentford neither want a permanent move away right now. That like even if it is just a 1 year loan and he does well, he does well. He doesn't well, he doesn't do well. Like at
Yeah.
least take a chance on something that could work. Or like let's say Ethan Waneri
Mm.
is Minas prospect at Arsenal are quite damn like the chances of him getting more minutes is dependent upon players getting injured and rotating and all those things. Like if you're a Burnley Leeds Sunderland, then why not at least make an attempt?
Yeah.
Like tell them you'll be given 30 plus games next season here instead of you don't know, like it could be 10 games at Arsenal. You're super young, you're talented. We believe in your ability to help us perform well.
Yeah.
Like those sort of players. Some of those youngsters who are on the periphery of the team at the higher end, like sorry your name, like sorry your name
There's
is
so
that.
many at Liverpool as
Instead of
well,
Walker,
especially at the
yeah,
moment.
instead of
After
Kyle
this
Walker.
signing spree, there's loads at Liverpool you could go for. Like, let's be honest, Harvey Elliott, Tyler Moore, and these teams, they someone like Elliott who isn't so sure whether he wants to leave Liverpool, surely you go in for him and say, look, we'll give you a chance, give you a platform to prove yourself, and then maybe slot next to, we'll watch you and think, you know what, he's exactly what I need.
And also, like, I know Kwanzaa moved for big bucks, so it's less of a point now, but still, like, someone could have tried their hand. I know Liverpool would have probably rejected it, and they got a lot of
Hmm.
money, so it's ultimately uh, a stupid point from me. But like,
Well, no, because
there
it's
is Rico Lewis
good
at
for it.
Man City,
Yeah.
Walker. At least make an attempt there,
Mm. Yeah, there's so many
and
you
he
look
could.
at and you think they just,
Uh,
they could just need minutes, but they're not going to get them. Why not go in and give it? I mean, you've got nothing to lose. I mean, it's better than bringing in a Kyle Walker, who's, let's be honest, he's past his best. His legs have gone. He's not a very good defender. He's got attitude problems. His lifestyle is not conducive. It's not the kind of lifestyle you want around your kids coming through from the academy at the club as well. He's not someone you want teaching your kids. You know what I mean? He's someone you want to keep away from your team, if anything. I just don't. It doesn't seem like they've really thought this through. It just seems like they panicked and just gone and said, "Who can we bet? That'll do," rather than tried to buy just
and
what they need.
yeah, and the worst bit is even before the preseason has properly started, he is already getting hammered in their own training
Yeah,
group.
because
So
they've had to stop putting out so many, some of the clips. They've had them because he's got destroyed by their own winger. Who was his name? Forgotten who it was now. 'Cause I had to look him up, didn't I? When
I
we were
will
looking
be
at the
very honest.
clips.
Yeah, I will be very honest. The only Burnley player outside of James Trafford that I can name off the top of my head is Hannibal.
Yeah,
Like
no,
it's
it's because Masenga.
no,
No, it's
but
someone like Okafor or
because his
someone.
name
It
is
was.
Hannibal. Yeah, because his name is Hannibal and he
Yeah,
is X-Men United.
it does kind of stick in your mind, Hannibal. Anyone called Hannibal sticks in your mind. But yeah, I mean, they're in. I just think they're in real trouble. Maybe though, maybe it's a cunning plan. They've thought we're gonna fill the stands just with his beards and his kids. They're gonna have a full house every week. So I'll never, even if they're shit,
So,
and all the fans are not going, he'll be selling out, tickets on his own money with all his side pieces and that.
Yeah, maybe that's just a ploy to sell more season tickets.
Exactly. I think maybe we've missed the point of this of that silent there. Maybe they've actually been really clever. Still gets me
Yeah,
that they do
maybe.
that stupid. They do that podcast called "You'll Never Beat Kyle Walker," and they used to sing that. And you're thinking, but everyone used to beat him. That was the thing. I never understood it. I mean, how many times? I mean, there was just that one piece in one game that you just have to see, and that sums up Kyle Walker, where Diaz was just sending him backwards and forward, and you're just thinking that sums up Kyle Walker's defending, and always has done. Why has he always been so highly rated? Oh,
It's the Burnley player in question is Colioso. I don't know how you
so
exactly
yes, that's
pronounce it,
it.
but
Collio show. Yeah,
yeah.
that's him. Correct. How did you know that? How did you remember
But,
that?
but that I'm pretty sure most of our audience knows what we're talking about when you say Luis Diaz, Kyle Walker, and actually
Yeah.
Rodri as well. It's Rodri and Walker together
Yes,
against
yes,
Lucho,
that's
and then
true.
it's
The pair of them would just
three.
go. They would just go. They went back out. They had to pay for tickets to come back in afterwards, didn't they?
If only Lucho was half, not half. If only Lucho was even 50% better with his end product, he would have
Ah,
just ended their career right there and then.
but yeah, but he's got no end product. That's always been his problem. So that's why I'm not that bothered that that he's leaving. It's just it's a shame. 'Cause good, but yeah, he's fantastic to watch. But you just know that like 9 times out of 10 it'll be wasted. So, right, we're running out of time now, so I think it's time we said goodbye.
Uh,
Have you got any special
I,
segue to end it on?
no, I think Kyle Walker's time at the Premier League level is running out, and it seems our time here is also running out. So until next time, see you. Bye bye. See you
See you
next time,
next time.
everyone.
Bye bye.